it's incredible
Yeah.
that people wake up in the morning and forget, man, you are a clump of cells moving around with consciousness. This is incredible. This is amazing.
Clump of cells.
Yeah. And yes, it does end at some point, but
Yeah.
that makes it even more amazing.
Interesting.
We don't get infinity. We get one tiny section of existence,
Yeah.
and you get to make the best of it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Every Day is a Yay! Y'all, today we got something real special for you. Coming closer. The way your mind is about to expand. This iconic storyteller takes ideas to a whole new level. Will get you thinking about terms like animal consciousness, and transhumanism. All these amazing and interesting things with his works like Mendel's Ladder, Points of Origin, and so much more. Dive in as we really explore humanity and creativity in a whole new light. Give it up to the iconic storyteller, ES5! Woo! Give it up, how you feeling?
Feeling very yay today.
Okay, yay! Tell us more about you.
Well, you can just call me Eric.
Okay, Eric. Eric.
We'll keep it easy here.
Okay,
I wear a lot of hats. I
Yeah.
guess there's a lot that has gone on in my life, but I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an author.
Yeah.
I run multiple businesses, online and offline.
Period.
I help a significant number of people of all ages, whether it's through my tutoring services, through my consultation services, or just meeting with people and talking about whatever they want to talk about.
Wow.
So, I'm very excited to be here.
Yes.
Like you said, we're going to talk about some big ideas.
Yes, period.
Psychonautism, exploration of humanity, consciousness, you name it. I
Yes.
love to explore it. I love to write about it.
I'm so excited for us to dive in.
Me too.
We'll be talking about, like you said, so many things, redefining storytelling and self through philosophy and sci-fi.
Yes.
Period. With that said, before we dive in, we have a very special segment. Drum roll, please. We got the Goblet of Smiles! All right. In this section, I want you to pick a question, any question.
Okay.
And the goal is to bring a smile to you
Okay.
and to our lovely audience. Are we ready, folks? Are we ready?
I'm ready.
All right, go ahead.
I'm ready.
Let's see.
All right, let's see. How did you meet your best friend?
Aw, okay.
I like that.
Oh, that's wholesome.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, this depends on my definition of best friend.
I think that's where it's
right?
tricky.
Because my wife is definitely my best friend.
Aww.
But my dude best friend
Yeah.
also, we could talk about him too. He's a pretty amazing guy.
Yeah.
We met in high school, and the high school I came from had not the greatest people in it.
I
Had some
feel that.
kind of gangs and things like that.
Wow.
And I was a pretty weak and scrawny kid,
Yeah.
and I'd get picked on a lot.
Wow.
And he was the opposite. He was a big, bold dude,
Dang.
and he looked out for me.
Wow.
And he kind of, made sure everything was cool. And we're friends ever since, 20 years later.
Aw.
So, yeah, he's an awesome guy.
Aw.
So,
Give it up. Okay. Period. Okay, best friend for me is so interesting because I feel like my friendships have evolved. And so there's different ways I can approach this. Okay. There's like a friend I've grown up with.
Okay.
And then there's like the friend I met like later in my, well, I guess early adulthood, but like it's almost like we've known each other forever.
sure.
And y'all know the friend I'm talking about because the friend brought us all together. So I'll highlight Deshauna first, okay? And I'm gonna give a shout out to Tarek.
Yeah, I was going to be like, come on, Tarek, too.
Because shout out
That's
to
my boy.
Tarek is such a good friend. Okay, let me tell you. So I'll say my best girlfriend. How about that? Deshauna is definitely one of them. And the way we met was actually on my previous project, How We Got Here. So I was working on I was creating a docuseries, and she got introduced to me as a line producer. And we basically bonded on just the experience of being who we are in the film industry and like creating. And then we just started having a lot of fun. Like we've traveled together. We've had some very man, the kind of adventures.
I can see the flashbacks already.
When I tell you, sometimes it's just like, yeah, another show. And then my other best friend I've had, and she's someone that she's gonna laugh when she sees this. So shout out to Nambia. So I grew up with her. So I went to middle school with her. So fun fact, I went to 3 different middle schools. Whoa. Yeah. So I lived in Michigan for like the first quarter-ish of my life. And then, so that was 6th grade. Then 7th grade, that's when we moved to the suburbs. But because of redistricting, so I moved twice. So I went to 2 different middle schools. And then Nambia went to those same 2 different middle schools.
Whoa.
Because of redistricting.
You kind of got lucky there, then.
Exactly.
You got to chill with your best friend the whole time.
Exactly. And it was funny because she has a twin brother. So I was like closer to the brother. Okay. But I was still really close to her. If that makes sense. So I feel like for us, and I think it's just a thing. We kind of stuck together, if that makes sense. And our friendship definitely got closer, like in college, because we went to middle school, high school, and college together.
Oh my gosh.
And she lives like maybe like 15 minutes away from me. And the adventure.
You guys are going to go to the same nursing home, too.
Literally. So I'm saying that's like a sister. Like her mom's like my second mom. So she's like the biggest fan of Everyday ZA too. So shout out to Anna Mitchell, aka founder of Gobble Dogs.
Yes.
So everyone loved her hot dogs.
Love your biggest fans.
Like, right?
That's right.
Right? So shout out to best friends. And I will also give a shout out to Tarek too, okay?
Thank you, Tarek.
Tarek is an amazing friend. Tarek brought us together, okay? Amazing creator, just honestly consistent, and love the guy. He's awesome. Yeah.
Just an amazing dude in general.
Honestly.
Yeah, good to chill with.
Period.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, shout out to friends.
Hell yeah.
Yes. And that was the Goblet of Smiles.
I love that.
Woo! All right, y'all. We are going to be going on a journey, okay? Our amazing, iconic storyteller is helping redefine storytelling and self through philosophy and sci-fi. So, Eric, let's dive in.
Let's do it.
Let's dive in.
Let's do it. We're going to start on the ground floor.
Yes.
And we'll launch from there.
How's that? Y'all ready for that?
Ooh,
let's go!
So we'll go a book at a time. Is that cool?
Yeah, that works.
So the first novel that I wrote, it's called Points of Origin.
Yeah, tell me more.
It's a traditional space opera in one sense, and an extremely non-traditional metaphysical novel in another sense.
Yes.
So the story starts with 2 guys who are launched out of the galaxy. They're launched out of the galaxy from this hyper-religious, very oppressive Christian organization called the New Covenant.
Okay.
And these guys are homosexual.
Okay,
and
I remember
they're manipulating them, and they treat homosexuals in terrible ways. But the reason they're using them is because they can profit from them, as usual, right?
There's parallels. Yeah.
So ultimately, for reasons unknown, they launch them out of the galaxy. When they're brought back from this launch, the galaxy has changed significantly. And ultimately, what this story is my attempt, with my love of astronomy and my love of metaphysics, and we talked before about existential ontology, the structure of existence and structure of reality.
Okay.
To kind of give my own potential theory on what this reality could be, what the construct of it is, what the purpose of it is. So through this novel, it gets broader and broader. We expand bending universal entropy itself.
What's universal entropy?
Okay.
for our audience?
So entropy in general is just a statement that means things break down, ultimately.
Okay.
Entropy is a measure of chaos.
Okay.
And we would say entropy, in our universe at least, only moves in one direction. Things break down. What we mean by that is when you look out into the universe, you're not going to randomly see some Ford Model T just spontaneously formed.
Exactly.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But you do see just a lot of stuff exploded, stuff destroyed, stuff that's dead.
Yeah.
That's the natural state of our universe. Things want to break down.
Okay.
Well, that is also true at the subatomic level.
Okay.
And the sub-subatomic level. Eventually, everything gets bent, everything gets pulled apart.
Yes.
And eventually, quadrillions and quadrillions and quadrillions of years from now, everything will be a single, maybe photon, proton, boson, some subatomic particle separated at infinite distance from every other.
Where did you get this? Like, where did you start learning all this to be able to dive in? Because I'm like...
Really, I went to university and I did study particle physics.
Okay.
But that is not necessary. People can just read. right?
Okay.
All of this material is available. You may not be able to derive Dirac's equation or some of these high-level mathematics,
Yeah.
which personally, I'm not as well, right? I
Mm.
also reach a limit in my mathematical understanding, but I take the knowledge of individuals who don't have a mathematical limit and go,
Yeah.
well, what are they discovering? And how
Mhm.
do I parse that with what I already know?
Mhm.
That's it. Just read. Really just comes, I tell this to all my students, just read. Read. Constantly be
Yeah.
digesting information. And when you're given
Yeah.
new information, collate it with previous information.
That
See if you
part.
need to change your understanding of what you knew
Wow.
before.
I'm glad
It's
that
very
you
important.
said that because it's like when you learn more and more, you have to like look back and see like what my previous knowledge was it still valid?
Yeah.
So kind of transitioning or kind of building on points of origin, what inspired you to actually create points of origin?
Few things.
Okay.
Depending on like the aspect of the novel.
Mhm.
The metaphysical aspect, I was inspired by just a lifelong obsession with what is going on. Why are we here? Why do we exist?
Mhm.
I was brought up Roman Catholic.
Mm.
I never found adequate answers. And in fact, even
Mhm.
as a kid at 8 or 9 years old, I was reading the Bible all the way through, bringing
Wow.
it to my deacons and priests, pointing out problems that I'm finding with it.
Yeah.
And they didn't even know what I was talking about. Well, I've never read that
Wow.
section. And to
Which
me,
is
I'm like,
so
but how have you
interesting.
not, your life is based on
Yeah,
this
your
book.
life is based off of this. You're preaching this, but like
You'd
I've
think
been
you'd be
digging
obsessed
this.
with this.
Interesting.
Right?
Wow. At 8 or 9 is
Yeah.
crazy. That's amazing.
It's amazing. And also, I was deeply depressed and sad at that time too.
Wow.
So
Okay.
this came with a significant amount of adversity. I was very
Okay.
alone, felt very isolated.
Yes.
Right. You had one of the questions that you had posed, what would you go back? Would you tell your younger self
Yeah.
anything? And I answered no. I would not go back to tell my younger self anything at all. I'm glad that I went through that adversity.
Yeah.
A lot of adversity.
Because it kind of led you to where you're at today.
Yes. It
Wow.
led me to challenge myself, to see that the individuals around me didn't have the answer.
Mhm.
And to this day, I don't have the answer either.
Mhm.
But at least now I understand it's a big question mark. No one
Yeah.
has the answer. That's what makes this so
Right.
compelling and fun to exist. Like you were saying before.
Exactly.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
People wake up in the morning and forget, man, you are a clump of cells moving around with consciousness. This is incredible. This is
clump
amazing.
of cells.
Yeah. And yes, it does end at some point, but
Yeah.
that makes it even more amazing.
Interesting.
We don't get infinity. We get
Yeah.
one tiny section of existence,
Yeah.
and you get to make the best of it.
Wow.
That's what's happening right now. It's
Yes.
so exciting.
This is wow. I like this so much. So, like to build off of that, let's talk about Mendel's ladder.
Sure.
Right? That is everything about how we push humanity in itself.
Yes.
And it also was inspired by George Mendel?
Gregory Mendel.
Gregory Mendel.
Yep.
Tell me more about like the inspiration behind Mendel's ladder and give us like a quick summary of Mendel's ladder. Now, I know that's an entire
big.
series.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mendel's Ladder's a series. But if we want to kind of just get it down into its basic form,
Mm-hmm.
it's a post-apocalyptic,
Mm-hmm.
super action-packed sci-fi fantasy mixture.
Mm-hmm. We
It
love
is-
that.
It's a lot. It's many of my reviewers and readers have said this truly redefined genres.
Wow.
And that was my attempt.
Yes.
When it comes to hard sci-fi, I find that it's a lot of times lacking in lore and action.
Yeah.
Dune is a great example of that.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Not lacking in lore, but lacking in action.
Yes.
Frank Herbert's an amazing author, but very often you get to the action scene that's been hyped up for the whole book, and he's
Yeah.
like, anyway, what?
It's like, why not actually like build, like, why not actually
Yeah.
follow through? Don't just skip.
I want to see these badasses fight each other.
Exactly.
Don't just tell me and he won. No,
It's like,
I
no,
want to see it.
like, what was it?
Blow
The
for
inks,
blow.
the blow,
Yeah.
all the shots, everything. Take me
So-
through it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Mendel's Ladder was my attempt at creating something that's deeply philosophically dense
Mhm.
and also has that fun action. So while there are periods of it that are pretty dark and
Mhm.
almost grotesque, body horror some points,
Mm.
other points are not that at all. Other points are just deeply philosophical and contemplative, and other parts are just pure action.
Yeah.
So my original inspiration behind Mendel's Ladders is something I've been building for 15 years now.
Yeah. Wow.
It's actually the first book that I tried writing. Mendel's Ladders, book 1 in this series called Neo-Evolution Earth.
Wow.
But I tried writing it 15 years ago and backed out. I was like, this is too big for me. This is, I
Wow.
can't do this. So then I tried Points of Origin,
Mm.
something that was a little easier to tackle in my opinion.
Yeah.
But now I revisited Mendel's Ladder. When I first started writing Mendel's Ladder, like I said, I backed out of it. It was a little too much. So I planned it for the next 15 years. I got like 50 different spreadsheets and all this information
Wow.
to try to keep collated. But my first novel, Points of Origin, took 3 years. My second novel,
Wow.
Dream of Waking Life, took 2 years. Mendel's
Wow.
Ladder took 16 days. I was like manic. I was so ready to put this down on paper. I'd been thinking about it so long. 16. I'm like blown away by that.
days.
Yeah. And then book 2 took like, I don't know, like 60, and then book 3 took like 120 days. More normal. But 16 days, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
So even to me, that's crazy. So clearly I had a lot of this on my mind.
Yeah, it had been like incubated.
Yes.
And then once you were ready, 16 days. So like from start to beginning, like you would revise, everything was still.
It was done. It was, yep. Sent to my editor at
Yeah.
day 16, right? Yeah. And even she was like, didn't you just start this? So I was like, in terms of like what was specifically inspiring me, I've always had a love for biology. And if I was going to go back and major in something, it'd probably be biology.
Yeah.
I love teaching it. I teach AP biology. But I would love to be more involved at the professional level with that. Got a little bit late now, but the book is, how there's those terms like cyberpunk, technopunk.
Yes.
The book falls under a category called biopunk. Because
biopunk.
I wasn't even aware of this when I was coming up with it.
What is biopunk? Please break it down for us.
In the same way that cyberpunk focuses on how a cyber state of humanity merging with our biology and technology would come about. Technopunk is purely technology. Biopunk is focusing purely, maybe not even purely, but largely on our biology, how that would be altered, how that would come to play in our future, and where biology can really go, which is way more expansive than people realize. A great example of a biopunk thing that's going on right now is they are now taking scrapes of rat brains, putting the scrape of the rat brain on a little computer chip, and then having that brain do tasks. So like doing online tasks like click farms, a little rat brain is in a tube doing a click farm basically.
Wait, whoa. Okay, so
that's crazy.
Wait, so literally they would put a rat brain,
like a scoop of it,
of
just the neurons, just to have the action potential activity, and you can use these things. And they're starting to use them for more than that. They're starting to use them to like control little cars. What they want to eventually do is maybe for like bomb defusal. You can have a rat brain that you grew to be a perfect bomb defusal agent. Be attached to this robot, have the brain of a rat but the body of a robot, and enter this location and defuse the bomb. And no one has to be hurt. Not even an animal has to be hurt. Because technically it's just these neurons. Right? That's pretty cool. So that was something that I've always been hyper obsessed with. Right? So I knew that was going to go into the book. In terms of the characters, yes, all the characters play some role. And in fact, I only got into lifting and lifting being really good for me and actually like being great for my neurochemistry too, just a few years ago. And because of that, one of the characters, Samuel, just kind of an everyday worker, son of this revolutionary in this giant orbiting space station called Astria, he's a bodybuilder and he finds his discipline through lifting. And so when he's going one more, and he does this because in this location, you got to lift at a power station 3 hours a week. And if you're not able to do that, if you're too old, you got to get recycled. You got to make way for the new life. And these people see it as a form of communism, but many people don't, and they want to revolt against this system, right? But Samuel goes out of his way to work for others. So these old people that would have died otherwise, he's at his power station lifting for 80 hours a week. And so because of that, his gigantic body and his form actually doesn't just reflect this guy that's, I want to be big. No. It's reflecting a hero, a guy who has truly kept these people alive.
Wow.
And I feel like that is what discipline can do for us. By disciplining yourself,
yeah,
you affect others, right? You help others.
Exactly.
So Thompson, another character, he's a hunter, which is this biological being that's used as a weapon to eradicate the remnants of humanity. You create these hunters through pain and suffering. You put them over a birth fire, and you have these things called cleaners. We won't get too into this, just like stabbing them all day long. And you're doing this to numb them, to have them be so familiar with pain and suffering that it's just normal to them. It's not a big deal anymore. So then the huntress, who utilizes the hunter as a puppet ultimately, can use him to his full potential. And when she's in battle and he gets his arm broken, doesn't matter. This is nothing to him. So that is reflected in my constant pain. Always in pain. My spine's all twisted. That's why I lift too, because it's helping fix it. It's helping it will never fix.
But it's like how
the muscles around it.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of times I feel like the hunter.
It's
You
where it's
know?
like you just get used to
The
just
pain
pain
never
all the
ends.
time.
And so I'm used to it, and it's not a big deal anymore.
Yeah.
And because I do have a very high pain tolerance because of
Yeah.
that. You know, and something will happen and people are like, did you just like not feel that? It's like, nah, just pain doesn't really affect me as much because
Yeah.
I'm well acquainted with it. I understand it.
So you have a personal tie to these characters.
Very much so. So like
Yeah.
it wouldn't be obvious reading it either.
Yeah.
But when I talk about it this way, it's like all of this is just aspects of myself.
Yeah.
Shira, the other character, she's protecting these two little girls, and they're part of this larger fate of humanity and this and that. But she's talking about how she's changed, and she's always focused on how she's changed from this hardcore badass warrior that finds love to be almost be a nuisance to a person who finds love to be strength, the highest form of strength, in fact. And that's my own quest in that. I used to be an individual who was kind of the opposite of a person seeking love. You know, I got into a lot of fights and did illegal, terrible shit, to be honest with you, things that I regret as a kid.
Yeah.
And now I look back at that and I'm like, what a fool. What's important is your son.
Yeah.
That I'm just there for him, that I'm just present. You know what I mean? And Shira's view of these children and what's important in life
It's
is
reflected.
that. Right? Funny enough, like this is you guys will crack up at this too. There is a group of individuals in the series called the Rovers, and ultimately this Wintersville matriarchy, these badass warrior women, they throw out these deformed boys. They just throw them into the wilds. They just to get rid of them.
Wait.
And it's pretty messed up, right?
What?
But they basically use men as slaves and as breeders. And so they have the like strong, good-looking slaves. They use them to breed with their women to make female warriors, and they give them an endoskeleton, and they become these hyper-advanced cybernetic warriors. Well, the boys that are born deformed or things like that, they throw them away, right? But they don't die. The world kept them alive. And I don't want to ruin too much for you.
I know, but I'm just like, my goodness. I'm about to binge this whole series.
You'd like it. It's cool.
I'm like, wow.
One of the characters is me. He's a guy. He's the king of the Rovers, and he doesn't have a peck. That's his deformity.
Oh, wow. So you wrote yourself.
Yeah, kind of. I know it isn't really me, right?
That's not
like,
you, but
just
it's
for fun, I was like, wait, this is deformed kids. I should be in this. You know?
Oh, no!
I thought that was great, you know? So, and that's me embracing this.
Yes.
You know, embracing who I am and what I am.
Yeah.
There used to be a time when I didn't.
Okay.
When I just hated myself, ran away from myself, tried to inflict pain on myself like the hunter, because that's the only way I could feel anything.
How did you get to that point where you did embrace yourself?
I'm nervous to tell your viewers this, but it is the truth. Psychedelics.
That's okay.
Okay.
Psychedelics.
It can be irresponsible, you know.
Okay.
I would recommend to your viewers.
Just be very honest with us and with caution, because we are saying this with caution.
Yeah. Yes, I'm not advocating for people to just go out and drop some Sid right now and just hey, have fun. You really should do it in an unbelievably controlled, safe setting. But yeah, doing psychedelics really altered the algorithms of my brain. By the way, not just doing psychedelics, but consciously, while doing those psychedelics, consciously trying to alter those parts of myself, staring at my naked body in front of the mirror for hours while on 10 tabs of acid. And I still remember the day that it finally, like a bolt of lightning, struck through me. And I still remember I was staring at myself. I was just in tears because I just wanted to get over this. I was suicidal. I wanted to end things. I thought I'd be alone forever, shit like that. And I finally saw myself, and I was like, dude, that's God. I don't even really believe in God, like the traditional sense, but that's reality. That's the cosmos. And what I mean by that is, if I didn't have this, and if other people didn't have differences, if other people didn't have everything would just be blank.
It'd be blank.
Everything would just be white.
Monotonous.
It'd just be monotonous. It'd be so fucking boring.
Exactly.
This makes it awesome. Someone had to have this. Just like someone had to have something else.
Yeah.
All of this is, and that's when it got into this very mystical idea of like, this is how it is, and this is the only way it can be, because without this, it sucks.
It sucks.
It's not even worth it.
Exactly.
So that gave me this very potent level of acceptance, kind of like overnight acceptance ultimately, but that kind of makes it sound like I just did this once. This was years of psychedelic use, a lot of irresponsible use and a lot of responsible use too. Right. So, things like, mushrooms, LSD, DMT, salvia, these types of things, whether you're trying to alter yourself in a certain way or not, even if you're not trying to alter yourself or build yourself in a certain way, they allow you to see reality in whole new perspectives that you simply cannot otherwise. Someone can tell you about it, but until you actually do it and go there, you're like, oh, now I see. Now I know what they're saying. Now I get it.
Yeah.
It's a powerful, potent experience that simply cannot be replicated otherwise.
Wow. No, I'm just like.
So another inspiration for Mendel's ladder is the concept that I feel that we as humanity have been goose-stepped. We've been forced into a situation where virtually all of our progress and all of what makes us truly amazing, in my opinion, is stuck. And ultimately, we're stuck because there's a handful of individuals that want to live lives of paradise and luxury in heaven, while the rest of us have to just kind of schlep and work for that heaven.
Yeah.
And more than feeling anger at those individuals or feeling angst or something like that, I just think it's disappointing.
Yeah.
You know, if we had a guy who, like we do now, a single individual as rich as the bottom 50% of humanity.
Yes.
And he was doing something incredible. He was building high-speed rail and healthcare and all these things for everyone in humanity. I'd be like, what's the big deal? Honestly, maybe the guy should have all this money, right?
He's going to help us.
He's helping us. But they're not doing that.
Yeah.
They're buying the 17th and 18th yacht.
Exactly.
Right?
For themselves.
For themselves.
It's very selfish.
It's unbelievable. And it's just disappointingly selfish because we could be so much greater.
Yes.
We could be doing such incredible things. The impressive technology, biology, cybernetics that we've attained on just a fraction of funding that we could have is truly amazing.
Exactly.
You know? So at this point, we could be a species that is solar system faring. We could be around our entire sun, colonizing other planets. We could be discovering all new avenues of expression, of existing, digitizing ourselves. All of this is possible, but we're stuck. We're stuck. So Mendel's ladder, that's a big inspiration because ultimately this guy Mendel, and I don't want to ruin anything, but maybe it is or isn't him.
But just like a little teaser.
But this guy Mendel, who you get excerpts from between each chapter, ultimately that was his view as well. And he said, look, I got to find a way to break us out of this.
Exactly.
And it might require horrors. It might require violence. It might require terrible things, but maybe the ends can justify the means. Now, that doesn't mean I agree with that because there's been a lot of terrible humans that say the same thing that have done some horrible despicable things. This is an imagining if it did actually justify the means. What if we could create some type of existential cosmic meaning for ourselves by breaking ourselves away from these individuals who have constrained us and limited us?
Dang. So Mendel's ladder explores forced evolution.
It does.
How does that reflect in your own personal journey and also like kind of your personal growth as well?
Sure. I have forced myself down a path of evolution as well.
Tell me more.
It's come in the form of psyche changes. You ever heard of a term called psychonautism?
No, let's assume because break it down for us.
Just to easily break it down, we know that an astronaut, astro comes from stars, a person who explores the stars. A psychonaut is a person who explores their psyche.
Okay, so naut is exploring.
Nautism. Nautical.
Oh, nautical.
Right?
Okay.
So psychonautism has been one of my best friends since I was a very young person. And it began with lucid dreaming. Lucid dream is a dream where you know you're dreaming and you can fully control it. And you can do some pretty incredible things with lucid dreaming, and obviously recreational, but also you can expand into your own mind and speak to your own subconscious. So an example of how I still use lucid dreaming is I will enter the lucid dream, request that my brain manifests the creative part of myself, and quite literally have a conversation with myself about my books and come up with cool ideas with me.
Wait. Because I'm a very visual person. So when you say lucid dreaming and you're saying it's supposed to like, you're basically talking to yourself to unlock more like creativity in you, correct?
Yeah, but it seems perfectly real. It seems like this right now. I'd be sitting here and it seems real. That's why I got this reality check.
You see this? That is amazing.
In a dream, it doesn't look like that. It's all hieroglyphic-y and alien, and that's how I know I'm not awake right now. I'm dreaming, and I can become aware and do whatever the hell I want. When I was a kid, obviously, it was flying and fucking and doing whatever, but now I'm a little more disciplined, and I use it for professional means, ultimately. So
I'm just like, it's so cool to even get to the point where you do a tattoo to
Oh, yeah.
signify, because it's giving like Inception, you know, like
That's exactly what it is.
yeah, like because with Inception, it was like you're so deep into a sub reality, What's gonna be that thing to show you that you're not in the actual core reality
That's exactly right.
that you're walking in? So with the lucid dreaming, because you were kind of talking through that motion, what gets you into that phase?
To actually become lucid,
Yes.
this is seeing this repeatedly. That's a part of it. So the more that I see this throughout my waking life and ask myself, are you awake? Are you awake? The more likely it is that when I enter my dream, I'm going to go, are you awake? Are you awake? Just naturally.
Okay.
So this is ultimately a pattern.
Okay.
That's one technique, and that's the most common. That's called mild, mnemonic-induced lucid dreaming.
Okay.
There's other techniques as well. Wild is a more advanced technique. That's what I use now. Wake-induced lucid dreaming.
Okay.
Where ultimately you count as you're falling asleep. 1, I'm dreaming. 2, I'm dreaming. 3, I'm dreaming. And you enter the dream state still counting. And so 39, I'm dreaming, and I'm in my dream. Here we go. I'm here. I can do whatever I want. So lucid dreaming is an avenue that's available to everyone. This is not something special.
Yeah.
Also, I've had people reach out to me. I wrote a free guide that's been available for about 10 years.
Okay.
I've had tens of thousands of people reach out to me, and some of them are just like, dude, I want your help. How can I do this? That's cool. But some have reached out to me, which I think is really interesting, to go, I don't believe you. I think you're making all this up. And I feel like that's totally fair. I love that critique. Those are scientific minds.
Yeah.
I want proof. We have proof. We actually have numerous institutions that study lucid dreaming that have proven beyond any doubt in double-blind studies that this is a real phenomenon. We can hook people's brains up to a brain scan, and we can tell them before they go to sleep,
Yeah.
hey, when you go to sleep, I want you to memorize this code. And I want you to imagine in your dream that you're blinking in this code. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we can watch them, and they go, yep, they're sleeping right now. We know this with certainty. We can see their brain. And yet, we can watch as their brain counts. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Because that's lucid dreams.
They're awake in their dream. So being awake and dreaming are two definable states, and lucid dreaming is its own definable state. You can look at a brain and go, oh, look, it just went lucid. He's awake in his dream right now. And you can have other people who are lying, and you can go, no, dude, you're lying. We can see on your brain that you were still just sleeping. It wasn't lucid.
So I'm curious because sometimes, not me trying to talk about all my dreams, but some of my dreams really be like, they should be in the cinema because they really become epic, okay? Like
a lot of dreams are, right? They're inspired, right?
Right? So what happens? Is it lucid dreaming when you are dreaming, but you somehow gain some kind of consciousness? So you realize you're dreaming, but you're still in the dream world. Is that lucid dreaming, or is that just it's different?
We call that half lucid. So you're saying like you're aware that you're in a dream, but you can't really control it.
Yes.
You're on the right path. You're half lucid.
Okay.
And that's a great point to be in. That means that maybe you're a natural. Like, for example, I am not a natural.
Yeah.
At the age of 13, I practiced for 4 months before I got my first lucid dream.
Wow.
And then I got other people that follow my guide, and they'll be like, yeah, dude, I got a lucid dream after one night. That's cool. But I'm like, one night?
Crazy.
That's amazing, you know?
Whoa.
So yeah, everyone's different. Some people have never heard of lucid dreaming, and then you tell them about it, and they're like, I do that like once a week. You're like, oh, okay, cool. So this is, it's a well-known phenomenon. It's something that happens to a lot of people, and it's also cultural. For example, you can go to different countries and ask people in Germany, hey, how many people lucid dream on a regular basis? You get something like 50%. You go to China, it's 92%.
Why?
Why is it just being Chinese, you have more something about the culture? I don't know.
Wow.
That's never been defined why, but it is a phenomenon.
But there's
something going on.
Wow. Okay. So you have also dug into other topics like transhumanism and animal consciousness. Yeah. And there's so much more. But like, can you break those two terms down to folks?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So we'll start with animal consciousness.
Yes.
I think that's easier.
Yes.
Animal consciousness is just the idea that all of the animals around us, depending on the category that you want to choose, the taxonomy, but all of them have some degree of consciousness. Sometimes that's obvious, right? When you look at a dolphin, for example.
Yeah.
You can do the X test, and it's clear that they're self-aware. They can see the X. You show them in a mirror. Elephants do the same thing.
Okay.
But what about dogs? When we do the X test on dogs and we show them a mirror, they don't seem to notice it. So then we go, oh, so they're not self-aware. No, your test is too limited. Self-awareness can come in many forms. That doesn't mean the dog isn't self-aware. So when I talk about animal consciousness, I'm trying to go against this assumption that we seem to have that for some reason animals and certain forms of life have less consciousness than us. I would agree that maybe sometimes it's not as complex, but I don't think it's less than us.
It's just different.
It's just different. And this, by the way, this includes plants. So when you, even when you look at a plant, when you break down our neurology, for example, down to the cell, ultimately your neurons are just a series of sodium and potassium pumps. When you go into a plant, it's the same thing. It's a series of sodium and potassium pumps. And what a biologist will tell you is, but those sodium and potassium pumps aren't centralized into a central nervous system. That's how I know it's not conscious. So an octopus is also not centralized. An octopus doesn't have a CNS, and then an octopus expresses a central nervous system. An octopus's nervous system is throughout its entire body. It has no CNS, and yet it's fully conscious. It cares for its young. It's emotional.
That's true.
So it's clearly not the CNS. Another example would be a slime mold. A slime mold is a protist that clearly doesn't even have a neuron, not even one, and yet it has a memory. You can show a slime mold a map. It'll go through that map, and then you could take the map away, and it'll do it again. It remembers the map. Where is that memory being stored if it doesn't have neurons?
I don't know.
None of us do. And yet biologists will still tell you, yeah, but it's not actual memory. Well, what do you mean it's not actual memory? The problem is they're just so desperate to go, humans are one thing, and everything else is another thing.
When really, we all have a consciousness.
Yes.
It's just in different ways.
Different form. We've seen mice. You can turn on music that they like and they bob their heads and smile. We find bears looking out at beautiful vistas for hours at a time, just enjoying nature. We find capybaras go out of their way during forest fires to shepherd other animals into their holes to make sure they're safe, including predators. They're just highly empathetic animals. Consciousness exists in what? Oh, this is one of my favorite ones. There's a fish called the elephant fish.
Okay.
The elephant fish has a special organ that emits electricity, like many fish, more electric eels, things like that. But they use this electric organ to literally speak to one another. They have conversations with one another. Okay. And as a matter of fact, we have broken down some of this speech. We've broken down that they have names for each other, that they talk about food locations. There's fish, invertebrates, are speaking to one another using electrical impulses.
I'm literally like I'm trying to imagine.
This is why, and they even respect hierarchy. When another elephant fish that's kind of a bigger guy that they all respect is speaking, they all go silent and they listen when he has something to say. And then when he's finished speaking, they all go break out in their cliques and talk to each other again.
How did you learn about this?
Like I told you before, I'm nothing special. I just read about it. I'm just have a hunger to know things, and that's a part of to go back to what you were asking about before, right? This forced evolution.
Yes.
That's part of my evolutionary experience.
Okay, right? Just continuing to learn and read and
redefining
test
who I am.
your previous assumptions
Constantly.
And that's something we all should do. Is like we need to continue to learn and not just accept what people are telling us. Yes.
Self-actualization is so much more important than you ever seen Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
You know what? Yes, it's been a minute. Isn't it like there's like the necessities and then there's like the wants, security,
all the way at the top, the very tippy top. Like you don't care about this self-actualization. I disagree. I think especially now that we're a society where our needs are met. We have a lot of our needs met, especially in Western society.
Exactly.
Self-actualization not only is important, it is a need.
It's a need.
It's something that we all need to be seeking. And a lot of people,
we're just going to be mindless people roaming this earth.
Yes, just
exactly.
Automatons, right? Robots.
Automatons. I remember that. Automatons. Dang.
And to me, that's a shame.
Yeah.
I want everyone to self-actualize. I want everyone to find what it is that they're truly, not the thing that they're being forced into by these individuals I mentioned before, that all they know is stuff, things, this constant desire. Once we can get rid of that, people can find a level to self-actualize with. But what I'm trying to impart to people is, even with all that occurring, even with the hardships of life, even with the struggles and the exhaustion, you can still find time to self-actualize by being very honest and direct with yourself, by taking a look objectively. How are you using your time? I ask my students all the time, especially the young ones. What do you do to kill time? They're like, oh, nothing really. I go and hang out. No, come on, really. Are you a YouTube guy, video game guy? Yeah. You sit and look at the wall guy, and then they laugh. And they're like, oh, sometimes I look at YouTube. Okay. How much YouTube do you look at? Oh, not a lot. No, come on, let's break it down.
Is that like, tell me.
Is it an hour? Is it 4 hours? And when you finally break it down, you find that this isn't a surprise. people spend a lot of time doing what they consider to be a waste. Now, if you said to yourself, bro, you know what I love doing? Sitting down watching Jake Paul for 6 hours straight. You're like, you should do that then. That's awesome. You're a guy who watches Jake Paul.
Yeah.
But basically, no one is that actually. They're just doing that to hide from this true self that they are. That's desperate to come out.
Oh.
That makes sense?
I'm absorbing it and like even doing some self-reflection too. Because it's like, okay, if you were to ask me what kills my time, what do I do to kill time? Sometimes like the scroll is real. Social media, they put crack in that. They did.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's so easy to be that. It's like, wow, an hour has gone by. This is crazy. And it's like, oh, what would I love to be doing? Singing, writing like film stuff. Like, and so that is still a step towards self-actualization.
Oh God, yes.
Really?
Listening to that inner monologue, that true inner monologue going, you should be doing this. I got two inner monologues at all times. I got one guy that's going, bro, you should just smoke weed and play video games all day.
Period.
Like
we love the
long.
ganja.
That's it, right? Like, that's it. You're good. You've set yourself up. Your family's happy. Everything's good. Just go smoke weed and play video games. At all times, there's the other guy who I'm trying to be going, no, I got stuff that I want to do. I got these stories that I want to tell. I have people that I want to help.
Yes.
I have structures and whole systems that I want to build.
Wow.
And when I smoke weed and play video games, that isn't happening. Now, I'm not trying to tell people like never smoke weed or play video games.
Yeah,
again.
no,
that's not the goal,
what you're
right?
saying. But it's like
moderation.
It's a balance. It's moderation. And it's making sure you're really listening to the inner voice that's like really trying to tell you, like, hey, this is what you really want to be doing.
Yes.
But for some reason, because mine is like, oh, catch up on all these shows. And it's like, but Jewel, we know the stages we want to hit.
That's it. Okay. Being honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like a part of that is finding discipline in as many aspects of your life that you can.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I'll tell my students who maybe lack discipline academically, hey, do you exercise? Do you work out? No, not really. Go seek an exercise plan, a diet plan, not because I'm trying to get you to change the way you look or something.
Yeah.
It's just a form of discipline. And as you practice discipline, you'll find discipline in other avenues. And that's the easiest discipline to have, to just watch what you're eating and go for a walk.
Yeah.
Anyone can do that.
Yeah.
Right. So again, I'm not saying like, dude, you should go become a bodybuilder.
No. You're just saying
basic forms of discipline.
Yeah. Like build the foundations of discipline so you know what it looks like.
That's it.
Because a lot of people don't know what it looks like. Even like, I appreciate you breaking down self-actualization because I'm like, okay. But like now when you say, I'm like, oh, this is how I can apply this.
Yes.
And everyone that's watching is going to be like, oh, I get it.
Yes.
Okay.
And hey, you know what part of that is? You're going to be tired.
Yes.
Right? You're going to be exhausted. You're also going to die at the end of this experience. So I try to hope to keep everyone in mind with all of this ends. Every moment of pain and joy and all of that, there is an ending to it.
Yeah.
And I find that to be liberating. I find that to be exciting. This spurs me to action. This makes me go, I got to do it now.
Yeah.
It might be over in 1 minute from now.
Wow.
That happens. It might be over in 90 years. It might be over in a minute. I don't know. But the point is, I should be cherishing this.
Yes.
Right?
Wow. Y'all. Oh my goodness. So there's some other terms. So let's talk about transhumanism.
Yeah. So transhumanism is the idea of expanding beyond our base state of humanity where evolution has brought us naturally. That could be through technology. That could be through biology. That could be through self-actualization. It could be through psychology.
Okay. So you're like, it's like, because I know it could sound like it's something else, but it's like you're transitioning to another stage of your humanity.
Yeah. So psychology can bring you to a state where you can control your emotions and control your productivity. Okay. That's a form of transhumanism because the base state of humanity is not control over your emotions. Is not control over your productivity.
Yeah.
So this is a transformation.
Okay.
Right? Generally speaking, when it comes to sci-fi, though, when we mention transhumanism, we're talking about the addition of senses, additional limbs, enhancing your neurology so that you can have a perfect memory. Things like that.
Things like that.
These are very, very doable, very possible things in the future. Neural chips are already a thing. I would never get one simply because they are being controlled by people that only care about profit. They do not care about you.
Which is very dangerous because that means they do not have us in mind.
That's right.
Mhm.
It's like airlines, you know, that
Yes.
go, well, we don't really need to do safety because it's cheaper to just pay out the insurance when the people die.
That's
What are we doing? They just say this publicly. What? So all the people at the top feel that way.
Yeah.
Our lives are expendable. Right?
Gee.
So for that reason, I'm not, that's why I'm nervous about transhumanism, and we should be, right? But,
Exactly.
just like as I said initially with Mendel's ladder,
Yes.
the potential is there. It's just a handful of individuals holding us back.
Yeah.
A handful.
So how do we like get past the handful?
In my opinion, you have to. Ursula K. Le Guin, a very famous author, incredible writer.
Is it K. Le Guin?
Yeah, Ursula K. Le Guin.
Ursula K. Le Guin. Okay.
She said, all revolution begins within you, and it ends within you. So you need to be the revolution. There doesn't even need to be a revolution that happens physically for the revolution to take place.
Damn.
If you decide right now, I'm not going to consume all of these extraneous things. I'm simply not going to take part in these things. I'm going to find joy in going for a walk around the lake near my house. You're no longer part of this system. The system starves. If everyone were to do that right now, it's over, man. Their entire hierarchy that they have built has been crumbled, has been crushed. It's over. They depend on us being these mindless consumers. That's it. This is something that we were talking about Tarek. Someone else talking about Tarek too.
Yeah.
Investing. You know, I was telling him, he brought up a great point, man. He said, hey, I don't want to put my money into these businesses that are exploiting me.
Yeah.
So, that's completely fair. That is totally fair, man.
Yes.
Which is why I suggested him doing an index fund, right? Keeping it simple. That way, number one, historically, you can't lose.
What's an index fund? Break it out.
Sure, an index fund is ultimately a fund that covers numerous different corporations, businesses, sectors.
Okay.
For example, you can go into a fund that just covers the S&P 500, the 500 largest companies.
Okay, I've been hearing. Okay, go. Okay.
So you're still investing into these companies, but I would argue, unfortunately, you can't avoid it. The more you try to avoid this, the more you're shooting yourself in the foot. So instead of just giving all your money to one of these companies, put it into an index fund. And if one of these companies goes bankrupt or something, you didn't lose out. All that money is going to be reinvested into the 501st company that's going to show up in the S&P 500. So when I was young, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, right around there, I thought I was going to crack the code, throw some money into the market, figure this shit out, double up, triple up, quadruple up. Yeah, no, it's just gambling. You're going to lose out.
At the part.
By the time I was 26, 27, I said, let's just do index funds. And over the last decade, I've had about a 500% return to do nothing, by the way. I haven't done anything. I didn't think about it. I just put it into the fund in my Roth IRA, walked away, never looked at it again.
Okay.
500%.
So index fund. Y'all all need to do an index fund. I'm literally about to look that up after this.
With a Roth IRA.
With a Roth
Everyone
IRA.
needs to open a Roth IRA. This is pre-tax money. So you don't actually have to, when you make all your money, you put in $100,000, that 100,000 grows into $1 million, let's say. When you go to take that money out, you don't got to pay tax on it.
That's for your 401k though.
For your 401k and a traditional IRA, you got to pay tax on it.
Okay.
But for a Roth IRA, you don't. This is money that's growing tax-free. And they know that, by the way. That's why they limit you to 7,000, I think it's 7,500 right now per year.
Wow.
They know that. Like there's a reason they limited you because they don't want it to be tax-free.
This damn system.
Well, right. Absolutely. It's all working against us, right? Let's recognize that and find a transhuman exploration by altering ourselves.
Yeah.
Ourselves being the revolution.
Yes.
Right? My wife and I, we stop. We don't go to these high-flying, big, nice sit-down restaurants anymore. We just don't. We see the type of people that frequent these places, and they're not the people that we ultimately want to be around. These are automatons, as I would call them. Now,
automatons.
I don't even mean that negatively, by the way. I just mean...
I had to just do it.
I really do, though, just mean people that they're not self-actualized.
Yeah.
They're playing in a system that makes them miserable. They really are miserable.
Now. Wow.
You see we all know. You see a lot of people, big name celebrities that have everything, all these things.
But they're so miserable.
They're miserable.
Because they have a persona they have to keep up. And like it gets to a point where they probably have built it so big that inner voice that's saying, hey, I want to do something. I want to do something else. They're not listening to that.
That's right.
Because they know they have to have a look. And then eventually it's just not going to fulfill them anymore.
That's it, man.
Because you can't keep ignoring this voice forever.
That's right.
That's what gets
you.
You.
But then you die miserable.
That part.
I'd rather die in joy.
Look, period. So you wear so many different hats. How do you kind of balance everything? And how is storytelling kind of your through line? Is it your through line?
I think so. I think storytelling is.
Mm-hmm.
Because any business that I've had, ultimately, I see myself as like a character in my own story. I'm
Okay.
engaging in the way that I know the character should be engaging.
I love that. So give me
You know?
examples.
All right. So, for example, when I first the first business that I started, I was 15 years old, right about
Yes.
16,
Nice.
and I went into this library near my house, and I saw they were selling all these books, and it was the end of their event, and they had like, I don't know, let's say like 1,000 books or something like that.
Yeah.
And they were doing 50 cents per bag. And I was like, man, there's got to be a way I can off all these books. Maybe do like a garage sale, sell them on eBay was just becoming a thing at the time. I was like,
Yeah.
maybe that'll work. But I was like, how much would you take for every single book here? And she was
Mhm.
like, there's like 1,000 books here. What do you mean every book? I was like, it's like 50 cents. Will you take 20 bucks? And it was like 10 minutes to go left. And she's like, I would love to just get rid of these things. Sure. So I paid her 20 bucks, had all my buddies come. We loaded up our cars, put it in my mom's basement. She was like, are you out of your fucking mind?
It's like, why are you in my basement with all these books?
Yeah.
My mom would be pissed.
But I knew in my head, I was like, look, man, if you want to be the character that engages to build a business, this is the type of shit you have to do. You have to take these very minimal risks and have some tenacity and put in the energy to make this happen. And I did. I flipped those 1,000 books, probably not 1,000 of them, but I flipped a huge portion of them and went, this shit works. And at the age of 16, I had a business. And I'd go around, flip books, flip electronics, flip video games. And that was it. And I felt good about it too, because the story I wanted was a dude who wasn't engaging in an exploitative manner.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I put it on the marketplace. Do you want it or not? Yes, I would like that. Cool.
It's like,
There's
I'm not
nothing
trying to
exploitative
fool
about
you. This is what it is.
That's
and
it.
if you want it, your own free will.
That's it.
Okay.
If you want the product, here it is.
And at the same time, you're still a character in your own story.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Very much see myself as a character. I can't help. I know this is not, well, maybe it is true, right? But I know it probably isn't true. But I feel like we're in like a divine cosmic story. All of us are just characters engaging and acting in these chapters of this God mind. You know?
Yeah.
Actually, this is something I bring up in my novel, A Dream of Waking Life.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen images of when you zoom out on the universe, what it looks like?
Isn't it like when you say zoom out on universe, I'm thinking like the Earth and then all the planets.
That's the solar system.
Okay, so you mean bigger than that?
Way bigger. So like,
see, that tells you like I'm not even thinking about universe because I'm like the solar system is the universe, but that's literally like one small portion.
Little grain of sand.
Crazy.
Right? So we got our sun with the planets going around it. Then we have our galaxy with all of the suns around a gigantic central
that's like a
black
big
hole.
swirly thing.
Some of them are swirly.
Yeah.
Ours is swirly, right? And then we have many galaxies also in these giant superclusters. And then we have these superclusters of galaxies in what we call these filaments. And this is what becomes very interesting. When you zoom out at this level, the collection of galaxies and the way that they form into these stringy filaments looks weirdly like neurons. It looks just like a brain. And when I see that, I go, oh man, this just gives even more credence to this inner voice that's going, you are the thoughts of some God.
Yeah.
This is the cosmic brain, and you are the thought that has been manifested from it. Now, am I married to that idea?
Yeah.
No, right? I'm not like, oh, that's true. That's absolutely true. But it just shows the wildness and the fun that we can have thinking about these things when we admit we don't know. It's a question mark. I feel like all these philosophies, especially when it comes to religion, it's just so sadly limiting. That's what it comes down to. I love religion because it creates community. Yeah. And it creates these ideas of peace. But when it comes down to defining existential ontology and what's going on in reality, it becomes really boring. You know, it's just like, well, there's a guy and he doesn't like when you masturbate. Like, how is this relevant? It's just so fucking weird. You know? It's so bizarre. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I think that's a good segue. So before the episode, we had like a fun little kiki. Well, really, you and Devontae had a fun little kiki before this. Y'all talk about a whole bunch of stuff, so we ain't gonna redo all that stuff. But let's segue into.
I'm glad you found that funny because it's supposed to be funny.
Ganja.
Oh hell yeah.
Weed.
Necessary. We should all be doing it. No, I'm not joking.
Well, like, no, for real. What is your hot take? Isn't even a hot take, but
my hot take is, and this is something we were talking about. I'll talk about this right now, the science of it.
Yeah.
Cannabis very likely evolved with not only primates, not only humans, not only primates, but probably vertebrates in general. And the reason I say that is when you look at cannabis, it has cannabinoids in it, THC, CBD, CBN, all this. Those cannabinoids are identical in structure to your own endocannabinoids, the cannabinoids that are made by your own body, and the receptors, the endocannabinoid receptors that exist throughout every cell of your body. Now, this is why when you consume cannabis, number one, you can't OD. Number two, it's non-toxic. It can enter your body and your body goes, oh, look, cannabinoids. We know this stuff.
Yeah.
And it goes right into the receptors and everything is perfectly fine.
Okay.
This is why when I look at cannabis, I go, okay, it belongs in us. Not only does it belong in us, humanity has been consuming cannabis a very long time. Have you ever heard of Otzi, or maybe Otzi, it's pronounced the Iceman? You ever heard this?
No, tell us more.
Don't quote me on this one, but it's something like 8,000 years old. We found this guy wildly, perfectly preserved, this caveman, basically.
Yeah.
And like this, and all his clothes are preserved. You guys, the viewer should look this up. Otzi, maybe O-T-Z-I, that's how you spell it. Otzi the Iceman.
Okay.
And he was flash frozen in some event we don't know, right? But the point is, we found him, and you know what this guy had on him? An ounce of high-quality psychotropic ganj. We've been doing this shit forever. It was only during Harry Anslinger's time in American Congress where he wanted to be a racist motherfucker and put people in poverty, specifically black individuals and Mexicans, in jail. That we suddenly went, we probably shouldn't be doing weed. And when you do weed, you'll want to kill your brother, reefer madness.
Exactly.
Like
Look.
Before that, everyone consumed. The founding fathers had fields of weed. This was just normal part of life, and it always was a normal part of life.
And the way it got politicized, like you said, that's crazy.
It's crazy. It's a shame. It's a shame. Yeah. Because for a lot of people, cannabis is a really great thing.
Yeah.
And Devontae and I were talking, for a lot of people, it isn't.
Yes.
Right? And I do think that it's not for everyone. But for the people it is for, oh my God, you're basically taking this necessary chemistry out of this person. Myself, I deal with significant amount of physical pain because I don't have a right pectoral muscle. I also have bipolarism. And those two things are basically completely, I don't want to say cured, but solved to a degree that I can live with it and be a productive member of society and a highly productive individual myself just by using cannabis.
Wow.
This is a pretty easy freaking solution.
It is medicinal. And I think that's the thing. Yeah. So let's talk about experience, right? So all of your readers, they go through an experience when they read your books, right? How do you deal with the feedback from your readers, especially those that have like critics, basically? How do you deal with critics?
Well, this is a good advice to other people trying to get into this too. Initially, not well, right? When I first got any sort of negative review, even if the review was like overly, was generally positive, they could say one thing like, I didn't really like how a character said this. And I'd be like, shit, dude, you shouldn't have done it like that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, it's like, oh, please.
What, you're so terrible, right? But now I just see it as everyone's different.
Yeah.
And as long as you are getting to some target audience, some audience that looks at this and goes, man, this is what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Then it's fine. And everyone's going to have a critique. The other way I get over it is by looking at my favorite novels and going to their reviews.
Yes.
Like Dune, we'll just bring up that one for an example. You'll see guys like me, 5-star review, one of the greatest works of fiction ever made. And then it'll just be like 1 star. This guy doesn't even know how to use words. And you're like, you know what I mean?
Because people will just be haters to hate.
Yeah.
Some of it's just not, so you have to just be proud of what you put out there. Yeah. And those that will feel it. And it's for those people that will feel it.
That's exactly. And if you changed it to meet the needs of those other people, then it wouldn't have been that amazing thing for the people that it needs to be.
Exactly.
Right?
Period.
So that's it. I just accept it. It is what it is now.
Okay.
So.
Period. So speaking about reviews and honestly looking at other authors, what authors or creators have inspired you?
A ton, first of all.
Yeah.
Especially when I was young, I read like 3 books a week. So it was like just nonstop inspiration.
Wow.
But the ones that, I'll just say the ones that are coming to mind immediately. Ursula K. Le Guin, I mentioned her. Philip K. Dick, absolutely. I mean, he's a huge inspiration on anyone, really. Isaac Asimov, Arthur C. Clarke.
Yeah.
And really any individual who is attempting to think about big ideas in a fresh and unique way.
Yeah.
That person's my inspiration. Whether it's just a YouTube person, whether it's just a guy I have a conversation with on the street, if he's introducing me to a new modality of thought, I'm excited. This is great.
So, like, what advice do you have to other creatives and storytellers watching this right now?
To other creatives and storytellers, I would say if you want to be in this industry, in a creative industry, you've got to develop thick skin. You have to. There's going to be a lot of people that just, like you said, that honestly are just haters.
They are just haters.
Like, you slowly realize, you're like, okay, but this guy's honestly just a troll at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think he read my book.
Exactly. You just trying to take up space at this point.
Yeah. So I'd say that. And then the other thing I'd say is you got to be tenacious.
Yes.
Do not stop. Just keep going. If I wanted to stop after my first novel. If I had stopped and I really wanted to, because I was like, what am I doing here?
Mendel's ladder. We want to have gotten all the amazing things you're building.
Yeah. And I didn't have an audience then, and I do now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm so glad that I continued.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep continuing. Now there's no stopping now.
Period.
Yeah.
Give it up for Eric Fein! So you were on the show. Every day is a yay. How do you find a yay in your everyday?
My way that I find yay is discipline and gratitude.
Okay, period.
Those two things. Every single day I wake up grateful for what I have, what I've accomplished, what I'm still going to accomplish. And I remember that I need to be disciplined. I remember that, like Anthony Bourdain said, there's that guy that wants to smoke weed and play video games. I remember that. And I remember, hey, that's not you. It's just a voice. It's a desire. It's the brain trying to be nice to you.
Yes.
Trying to be like, bro, you love video games and weed.
Exactly.
That's it. It's just trying to be my friend, and I got to temper that and go, I know, I do. We'll get an hour of that tonight.
But you know,
I got to get this other stuff done too.
Exactly.
That's it. So just to stay disciplined, to stay tenacious, and to remain grateful. That's how I stay. That's how I stay, yay.
Okay. We love it. Period. So what's next for you? And how can we support you? So
next, I'm working on book 4.
Okay.
Book 4 is up for pre-order. If you guys go to Amazon, if you search E.S. Fein, search Mendel's Ladder, anything of this, book 4 is called Mirror's Brink. They all follow possessive. So book 1 is Mendel's Ladder, 2 is Winter's Remains, 3 is Hunter's Dirge, this one's Mirror's Brink.
Okay.
To support me, go buy my books. I mean, that'd be amazing. I think you guys will love them, not just to buy them, but
I'm
just
literally about to buy and binge all of them.
Yes.
Y'all. So join me. We have a book club. Okay. Yay, book club.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you guys know anyone looking for an amazing tutor in virtually any subject, biology, psychology, math, science, social studies, send them over. I got them.
Lucid dreaming.
Dreaming. Yep.
I believe it. I believe it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Y'all, I told you, did your mind get blown today? Y'all, Yay Nation, thank you so much for tuning into another episode. And remember, you have the power to make every day a yay! Woo!